something. I have a new book idea, but I started writing it, and 2 chapters in, I couldn't get past anything, and I scratched it and started writing a book that's more familiar. Something way more familiar. The book is gonna be, drumroll please, book 2. It's gonna be fun. I get to revisit the characters. It's gonna be so much fun for that. But this time, I'm actually gonna take my time to properly plan, do everything properly, so I make sure that the second book is better. In my experience, second book is almost always like not the best book. I've always hated the second book of any series. Doesn't matter what series it is, but the second book of any series I do not like. I absolutely despise it. So this time, because I'm writing my own book, I'm gonna make sure that the second book gets what it deserves, and I'm actually gonna plan properly, make Pinterest boards, do playlists, everything possible to make this book the best. So you guys are gonna come on that journey with me. I also decided to write a second book for The Phoenix Shadow because I think this book has a lot of potential. I think the characters have a lot of potential, but I do know that for the ending of this book, I'm gonna make it very dramatic. The second book, I'm gonna make it very dramatic. But I just think this story has so much potential in a second book. I think it's just not right being left alone where this ended, because where this ended, I feel like wasn't, well, I'm not satisfied with the ending. I don't know about how the readers feel, but I'm not very satisfied with the ending of this book. So I'm gonna make the ending, the second book, better. That is my main goal. So right now I'm gonna be making my playlist and my Pinterest board. This is what I had already started writing. Oh, it's not touchscreen. But now I'm gonna write all of it all over again and plan properly, because this, I don't even know where it was supposed to go. Okay, so I ended up naming it TPS2 because of The Phoenix Shadow 2, and it's the second book. So I already created it, and I have some pins, but I think I need some more pins because there's never enough. So I'm gonna be looking for more. I think I'm mostly just gonna be, this book I think is gonna be a lot more developing the characters more than them going through a mission, because I think from where I left off in the book, I feel like there was a lot for the characters to learn and grow, which is mainly one of the reasons that I'm writing this book, because I'm not really satisfied of where I left it. So I'm gonna also incorporate elements of like some romance, because I also did not, as a 6th grader, I did not know how to write romance. I probably still don't, but I'm gonna try anyways. But it's gonna be fun, and it'll work out, because yeah, it'll work out. But yeah, I'm definitely set on making this book way more dramatic though, and more of a serious tone. I think in the first book, I kind of just took writing it as like lightly. I was just like, whatever happens, happens. When I first started writing it, I didn't have the intention of publishing it. I just wanted to write for my satisfaction, because it was actually, okay, story time now. Now that we got into this, now it's gonna become a story. But basically what happened was I was given a creative writing project in 5th grade, and it ended up having to be a fantasy story, and I love reading fantasy. Like, I've read most fantasy books. Well, not everyone out there, but I've read a lot of fantasy books. So I really liked the idea of what I had. But if you hear what my original idea was, you would never think that that's where my book got to. Like, you would never ever, like, never in a million years, you would think, oh, that's the Phoenix Shadow. Like, my first idea was about someone who was given 8 lives because of the idea of reincarnation. And I had that idea and I was like, okay, let's make a story and let's make it where each life they battle a monster. But that was me in 5th grade, so no. And then I ended up creating characters. So my first ever draft, it's like 10 pages long, was actually given to my 5th grade teacher, and she liked it, I think. But yeah, it was pretty rough. The characters are not the same names. I think Luna and Aiden and Krishna are the only ones with the same name. I think Ivy and Anjali, Anjali was Dia, and then Ivy, I think, was Flora, but it was very hard. But I did know that in that 10 pages, there were too many plot twists, but I think I might be taking some of the plot twists I put in those 10 pages and making it a part of the second book, which is probably gonna have to dig out the 10-page draft soon, but yeah. But I think my 4th or 3rd draft is when I actually started having something that is similar to the published version. Everything before that was like completely different. Like, I had no idea about I never wrote the status levels. I just like wrote, honestly. Like, I had no goal. In 6th grade, I was just writing to write. I had like no goal. And then in 7th grade and 8th grade, I started being like, okay, I actually have to do something. I actually have to have goals. I actually have to aim towards something. But yeah. Okay, so I just finished making my Pinterest board, so now I'm going to be making my playlist. Personally, for me, making the playlist is the hardest part of my planning process, but let's do it. Okay, I'm going to be naming it also TPS 2. Obviously, because, again, I keep wanting to say Dead Poet Society. I don't even know why, but the Phoenix Shadow. And don't mind that I'm a very big Cedarville fan. Anyways, let's continue with. Let's add some songs to this. I honestly don't know what I'm gonna add, but I already have a book. Book. Yes, I do have a book, but I have some songs part of the first book. I'm thinking I might add some songs to the TPS2 also. But I also had a different project I was working on that I called Kaida's Story that I might add. I also love Billie Eilish, so. Oh, As the World Caves In. That's a good one. Also, if you have any song recommendations to put in my playlist, I will listen to them and I will actually add them. I promise. And I take my promises seriously. Okay. I think now, since I added one song, it'll give me some suggestions. I'll see if I have any. Ooh. I think I could do if Dynasty. Hello? Where's Dynasty? I don't see anything. Okay, so I'm gonna continue making my playlist, and I'll show you the actual planning process right after, like in my Google Docs. So okay, so this was the outline I originally had, but I think it's time to delete everything. Actually, no, wait. I don't want to regret this if I delete it. Okay, I'm actually not going to delete it. I'm just going to make a new document. Oopsies. Just going to make a new document and keep some things and then discard other things. So, yeah. Okay, so how I normally plan, if I ever plan, because this is the most minimal work you're gonna have to do if you want to plan fast. I think, actually, I haven't done this in a long time, I kind of forgot. I think you insert a table and you like create, it's like 2, and then you do however many. So obviously wait, let me insert it first. Okay, so obviously this is going to be the chapter, and this is going to be the description of what happens. And so this just, in turn, like, I could put chapter 1, and then I'll write, like, what happens here, or just, like, I just write whatever happens, and then I move on, like, chapter 2. This is how I normally plan, but I also kind of sometimes plan using I think a chart from Abby Emmons. She's very good. If you actually want to write, you have to, okay, I guess my computer died. Okay, since my computer did die, I might have to just end up doing it on paper. So this is the notebook I used to actually write the first few chapters of the second book for this, because I actually did have a plan of writing a second book, but then I was like, okay, I'm not gonna write a second book. I feel like I have too many ideas and I want to focus on other ideas. But I guess I ended up coming back to this idea anyways, so we have to start planning. I always do this online, but honestly, I think it's time for a little pen and paper. So I think I'm just gonna be using this, and I'll show you how I do it with a notebook. So me planning on notebook is very different from me planning on online, because online I create a chart and everything, but I am too lazy to create and draw a chart on notebook. So this is what I draw instead. So this is kind of the opposite way, but this is where I start, because it's like the least amount of time that you're gonna spend like them learning the world. But this is gonna be the character, for example, Luna in the first book. Okay, I'm not gonna spoil anything, I'm gonna try not to, but Luna in the first book, she discovers something and she's like, okay, I'm curious. That led to a series of events. Then she's like, okay, something else happened, so now I'm gonna be more curious. I'm gonna grow even more curious. Okay, something really, really big happens here. And then it's like resolution, and then it just kind of like go back home, everything settles down, and that's like, okay, everything's over, nothing more to worry about. So that's how I plan. But if I'm gonna plan chapter by chapter, that's when I get out my sticky notes and I start writing everything that's gonna be in the chapter. So yeah, that's basically all I do to plan. And yeah, thank you for watching this video, and I hope you stay for the rest of the journey.